Dr. Dennis Sinyolo from Education International joins us this morning to tell us what was discussed. Doctor, good morning, and thanks for coming in this morning. What did you highlight, or what came out of this conference as being the biggest challenges for teachers at the moment?
Thank you for having me. Yes, indeed, a number of challenges were discussed, and these range from the critical shortage of teachers in Africa and globally, actually. For example, 69 million teachers are needed to achieve the new Sustainable Development Goals adopted by the UN in 2015. And in Africa, the shortages are very critical. We still have a number of teachers who are not trained or not properly trained. The status of teachers continues to plummet, and this has come out very strongly from the conference. And we also looked at the attractiveness of the profession, where young people do not choose teaching as a first choice profession. The challenges are quite enormous. The support mechanisms, the issue of class sizes are very big. The support mechanisms for many African teachers are not good at all.
That number, 69 million teachers, the shortage. I mean, why is there such a global shortage? Well, did you get some insights into why?
The main reason is that the teaching profession has lost its status. People don't choose teaching as a first choice profession. It's usually a second choice, third choice, or even a no choice profession because they have nothing else to do, or they use it as a stepping stone. So the answer, as discussed at the conference, lies in improving the status of the teaching profession. But coming to the quality of education, what came out very strongly from the conference is that we need to strengthen our teacher education systems. We need to strengthen mechanisms for supporting teachers, including through professional development.
Yeah, did you discuss at all, Dr. Sinyolo, how to make the teaching profession more attractive again? When we grew up, we were told that it's a calling rather than a job.
We did. We discussed that. We have done a lot of research on that, and with papers presented at the conference. There are several initiatives that need to be undertaken to make it attractive. First of all, improve the salaries, improve the working conditions. You will naturally attract people to the profession. Now,
there's also, and I'm sure you are aware that in recent years we've seen lots of front page stories. We've seen teachers bringing the profession, some teachers bringing the profession into disrepute, Doctor. We've seen videos of abuse happening in the class. We've seen violence. We've heard of the sexual abuse. We've heard of them taking advantage. Also, teachers who are faking their qualifications, or people faking their qualifications in order to become teachers. Did you tackle that at all? Is that an ongoing discussion for you?
The vast majority of teachers are actually honest women and men who have dedicated their lives to improving the lives of young people, even if the salaries and the working conditions are not good at all. Of course, we discussed professionalizing teaching. We discussed improving teacher quality by raising standards. We discussed professional ethics, which is a mechanism that allows teachers, through their profession, to control the kind of things that you have alluded to.
Yeah. Now, the way forward from this conference, I mean, it's one thing to meet and have insights and discuss. Did you agree on certain key actionable outcomes?
Definitely. We had actually country teams even meeting together to agree on what they will do after the conference. There was agreement on several key things to do. First of all, that the partners will work together, including the African Union, actually, UNESCO and other intergovernmental organizations, to strengthen teacher education, to strengthen teacher professional development, and support systems across the continent. We also agreed that we will work together to strengthen professional teaching standards. In fact, my organization, Education International, will be working with UNESCO to develop at global level a framework of professional teaching standards, which would then inform the development and strengthening of national standards.
Now, we also have lots of concerns about infrastructure at schools as well. Is that something also that you think might be putting people off from actually going out and wanting to attempt to teach kids? I mean, we look at some of the conditions in, the pit latrine stories. We know those tragedies that have happened. Does that also play a part in where they're going to teach, what kinds of classrooms they're going to be sitting in, if they even have a classroom?
Absolutely. In fact, that's an important point. It's also about resources, textbooks. It's about housing. It's about the overall development of the country. I can tell you from research, we found find it difficult generally in Africa to get women to rural areas. It's not their fault. It's simply because there is no infrastructure, there is no housing. So if you are to tackle the problem, you need to address a whole range of issues to make teaching attractive.
Now, finally, Dr. Sinyolo, as we conclude here, you've had the conference. It finished yesterday. You've got the insights. Your research is showing what needs to be done. Are you confident that teaching as a profession on our continent has a future?
Definitely, definitely. And I invite all young people, especially in high school and our universities and other education institutions, to choose teaching as a first choice profession. But I urge governments to work tirelessly to improve the working conditions of teachers, to dialogue with teacher unions, to work together to improve our profession. And finally, on World Teachers' Day, which is the 5th of October, we will be talking about the status of the teaching profession. We'll be launching a new report, a global report, which will highlight some of the challenges and how they could be tackled by governments around the world.
I think we should diarize to talk to you